Hello and good afternoon. Thank you all for joining our webinar today. My name is Ayman Khalifa. I'll be your trainer for this webinar. Before we begin our prompting webinar, I'd like to know whether you've used Microsoft Copilot or not before. Let's buy some time for those who still want to. I'll get to know you and whether you have previous experience or not, and I will build my content or go through my content of this webinar accordingly. The aim is to maximize the benefit, your benefit out of those 2 hours that we will spend together. So help me by telling me whether you've used Copilot or not. It's the usual question in our webinars. Raise your hand, type in the chat window, let me know. You see, the more we engage in those webinars, the better the result. And actually, you can drive the content of this webinar by engaging, asking questions, and so on. I see some familiar names from previous webinars. Ahmed is like partially, all right. And there was a thumb up from Omar. I believe you've used it, yeah. Good evening, 373. Right, good afternoon. Yeah, yes, we have used it in some scale. Brilliant, brilliant. So today's webinar is not focused on demonstrating the different features of Copilot or different flavors of Copilot and so on. Today we want to focus on prompt engineering, the art of prompting, because you see, I always say that there are two types of generative AI users, let's say. There are those who uses AI as a tool, and when the tool doesn't work, they just don't try again. Yeah. So you find their creativity goes down, or they just simply stop using the AI. And there are the other type of people who actually treat AI or generative AI tools as a teammate, as a team member, right? They write their prompt, they get the result, and then they share feedback with the AI tool. I like this one, I don't like that one, or I changed this one and modify that part, and so on. And by this, you get the AI to enhance and develop and eventually get you the result that you actually want. Yeah. So those who treat AI as a team member get the best out of AI. So one thing to take out of this webinar today: stop treating generative AI tools as tools. Yeah, treat them as personal assistant who knows a lot. Yeah, you just need to direct them to the right with the right question and the right prompt in order to get the satisfying result that you need. All right. With that in mind, let's give a quick overview about Microsoft Copilot to those who have never used Copilot, and then we'll delve into the details of our webinar. So many of you know that Copilot is kind of a collab between Microsoft and OpenAI, yeah. But what you need to know, and we insist on mentioning this all the time, that although Copilot is built on OpenAI capabilities, but it's not the same engine that you use, not the same model that you use when you use ChatGPT. well, what OpenAI did is they created an instance of ChatGPT, yeah, separate only for the use of Copilot. So Copilot is not as same as ChatGPT. Why? Because this one is modified. Microsoft adds its own responsible AI prompts with every prompt that you run to make sure that the result is fair and inclusive, and data privacy is there, and so on. So Copilot is nothing but same capabilities of OpenAI, but within a secure environment. Yeah, so we provide here security to your data. To the core of it, it's another language model, another large language model, a generative AI model. All right, but this one is embedded within your Microsoft 365 applications. You don't need to go to ChatGPT, write a prompt, get the result, and then come back to Word or Outlook and so on. You get the AI capabilities as part of your applications, whether it was Microsoft 365 or any other flavor of Copilot. And you can get the result from the web or from your corporate data. You just need to correctly write your prompt. With that in mind, we usually walk people because not everyone knows the different flavors of Copilot or the different versions of Copilot. So allow me to tell you that there is a free version of Copilot that you can access today. Even if you haven't used Copilot, just go to copilot.microsoft.com. Let me share the link with you. Copilot.microsoft.com, right? Copilot. There we go. This is our free Copilot. The link will be shared to your chat window. Meanwhile, let me open the chat window here so I can keep an eye on your messages and your questions. All right, so this is your Copilot. If you have Copilot license, you would see work and web and so on. But if you don't have Copilot license, by accessing copilot.microsoft.com, you will go to the free version of Copilot. There we go. Yeah, so it depends on what did you sign in with. If you sign in with a corporate account, you might access the Microsoft 365 Copilot. But if you access the sign in with the personal account, you will access the free Copilot. But if you don't want the free Copilot and you want Copilot for your personal laptop, well, you can go for the premium Copilot, the Copilot Pro. Yeah, that's for individuals. Corporates usually goes for the enterprise version, the business version, which is the Microsoft 365 Copilot. But these are not the only Copilots. However, when we talk about 365, just for your information, it's part now of all of these folks on the screen and more. I am sharing my screen. I'm not. Thank you so much, Ahmed. Thank you so much. Something happened down the road. So appreciate the feedback, Ahmed. For a reason, my screen stopped sharing, or I didn't share it in the first place. It happens. So this is the part where I mentioned it's part of your Microsoft 365 apps, yeah, and you can ground it to any source of data that you want. But then I went into the different flavors of Copilot, mentioning the free version of Copilot and the one for individuals, and the Microsoft 365 Copilot, which is part of all of those applications in front of you. However, we have other parts of Copilot or other flavors or other versions of Copilot. There is GitHub Copilot for developers. Yeah, it helps them writing code. And then we have Dynamics Copilot. If you're a Dynamic user, you know that now you can have a conversation with your CRM or ERP applications. And for Power Platform, we have Copilot that helps you generate reports or create applications without a single line of code, and automate workflows as well. For the techies, we have Microsoft Security Copilot. That's in Sentinel, where it's a central place for me to have a conversation with my network and security applications to get data from different logs, make sense of the data, right? Natural language, and then this gets converted into query language in order to retrieve information from my data and so on. In short, Copilot is for everyone, regardless of your role, whether you were on a strategic level or tactical level, operational level. Copilot is for everyone. The common factor between all of those different roles is the main objective of this webinar, the art of prompting, right? So before we delve into the details of the art of prompting, and as long as we're going to use, we're going to talk about only prompt engineering, so you can actually follow me and follow this demo by using the free version of Copilot. All right. So let me share with you one prompt, and you tell me, is this a good prompt or a bad prompt? So it's marketing. Screen, tell me about marketing, and then I share this with Copilot. Can you tell me in the chat window, or give me a thumb up, thumb down, if this is a good prompt or a bad prompt? Waiting for your interactions. Right. Abdul Samad, it's like bad, right? Capital bad, right? You all generic, all right? Ahmed Ozer is like bad prompt, but I'm getting results. I'm getting results. Of course, I will get results. Whatever I type to the AI, I will always get results. All right, it's a generative AI. That's what it does. But as you all mentioned, it's a bad prompt because I don't have no context in here. What do I want to know about marketing? It generated results, but maybe this is not what I'm looking for. Yeah. So it's so generic. What about this prompt now? All right. What about this prompt now? If I go like, okay, let me update the prompt and send it. Well, how about this one now? Summarize the key digital marketing trends for 2025 in bullet points, focusing on B2B strategies. Keep it under 100 words. Is that a good one or a bad one? Or you don't like it? Yeah, it's better. It's excellent. Abdul Samad says, well, yes, it's way better than the previous one because this one it shows exactly what I want, right? It has a clear intent. It has a defined scope, yeah. And I even mentioned the format of the format that I'm expecting, yeah. How many words and the scope is here, B strategies, and I want it in bullet points, and so I get the result the way I want. So this is a better prompt. So the difference between these two prompts, yeah, lies in the four main factors that I will mention to you. And every prompt that you write should have those elements within. The first is that you start with the end goal in mind. What do you want? What do you want from Copilot, right? And then add a bit of context. If you say, I want a for a water bottle, all right, you will get a description. But does that description really fit your product? Copilot wouldn't know what makes your product unique. Maybe the plastic of your product is environment friendly, but Copilot doesn't know. So add some context to your prompts. Why do you need this thing to be generated or this piece to be generated, ground Copilot. You see, when you write an effective prompt, specifically when you define the source of information, so Copilot would generate the content from, you reduce the margin of error, you reduce the margin of AI hallucination. Yeah, you don't want wrong information. So don't let Copilot go to all of its learning data in order to generate your response. Direct it to specific source. Could be a certain website or a set of websites. So what information or samples do you want to Copilot use? There is one concept here called few shots learning. So in few shots learning, you would mention an examples or share some examples of how do you want the data to be generated, the format of the data, the tone of the data. So you give examples, and then Copilot will generate new content exactly following your example. The fourth and last point is your expectation. How do you want to format the content? Bullet points, brilliant. Maybe a paragraph, maybe a table. Maybe I want to change the tone. I don't like the default tone. I wanted to as simple as write like a human being. Yeah. Or keep it professional, keep it friendly, keep it short. Yeah, concise, structured, and explain how it's structured. I want an intro at the beginning, and then I want an executive overview, and then I want the learning objectives. So mention your expectations. All right, that's how should Copilot respond to best fulfill your request. All right. So when you say I want a clear goal in mind, this is like the main intent. Do you want to summarize? Do you want to translate? Do you want to generate ideas? Right? And then for the context part, why do you want to summarize or translate or generate? Maybe for a presentation to executives, maybe a presentation for all hands on meeting, and then you mention your the source of information. Maybe you upload a document or direct Copilot to a certain website. The format as part of your expectations. You want to use bullet points, keep it under 100 words, like what we mentioned earlier. And then if you have any constraints, add them. Yeah. Keep it in a professional tone. Limited to 3 examples only, and so on. So these are the key characteristics of a good prompt that you need to remember. Do you have any question on those parts that we discussed? All right. Now, one more technique that you can use with Copilot is that you begin with the persona in mind, right? So instead of throwing this this prompt like this, it's always good to say, you are, or maybe I am, define yourself or Copilot. And go like, you are a marketing professional who's specialized in 1, 2, 3, or who helps people doing 1, 2, 3. All right. So this is what we call a system message. This will be remembered by the AI tool for the rest of the conversation in here. Strategizing with Copilot, and you want to have some plans together, brainstorm together or something. Go like, you're a project manager. Now Copilot is ready with all the project management standards, frameworks, and terminologies. It would generate the right answer that you want. Right? So let's do a quick practice. Based on what we said earlier, this should be very easy for you. Let me enlarge this one here and then go for a new chat and tell me if you are a cyber security expert. Write a post about cybersecurity. Is this a good or a bad prompt? What do you think? Good or bad? I'm getting, I specified the persona and I wrote what I want. That's right. I'm gonna have to ask Copilot to translate that for me, Cap. Please detect the language and translate to English. And I'm gonna demo to you prompt engineering using for this reason, right? Because someone wrote something here, Cap wrote something in a different language. So what I can do is I'll use something called sectioning, yeah, to better structure my prompt. I'll add the text here, and then I would go for a new section, and I basically create sections by either three hyphens or three hashtags. And sometimes what we do, we enclose the text that we want Copilot to work on between those tags, and then we mention, please detect the language of the enclosed text and so on, and do what I want to do on it. So I'll keep it simple by sectioning it this way and then sending it to Copilot, and let's see what we got in here. It's written in Greek, all right? It should be more specialized, all right? Latin characters, brilliant, all right? Well, spot on, Cap. So yes, so back to the prompt. Um, Although I mentioned the persona, but I'm lacking other aspects, which is more about the context, the format that I wanted, and so on. Yeah, why do I want to write a post about cybersecurity? What is the format of the generated content? But this works better. I'm specifying the target audience. Where am I taking this? Oh, I'm writing a post for LinkedIn. So now it knows the LinkedIn format, it knows the LinkedIn character limit, and it knows a lot of things. But then I mentioned I want it max only 100 words. Prompting October as Cybersecurity Awareness Month, targeting employees in Qatar public sectors, including a call to action. There you go. Here is the Cybersecurity Awareness Month. This is the post. This is the call to action. Join the workshop, stay informed, and so on. And I got, because I mentioned LinkedIn, I got hashtags. All right. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got hashtags and so on. All right. So that's a proper prompt and a proper result that I received. All right. Now, so we define prompting, and to say it in simple words, when we say prompt engineering, it's the art and science of designing, refining, and sequencing instructions. Because what you're doing basically, you're programming the model, yeah? You're asking the model for a certain problem solving, so you need to express the problem in steps. So the more clear your steps, the better the results. All right. And instead of doing a lot of iterations, you write a prompt and then you get a result, and then you write another prompt enhance and then you get a result. You reduce those iterations by writing an effective prompt um, at the first time. All right. Do you have any questions so far? No question? Okay, I have a question for you. I'm gonna share with you one prompt, and I need you to rewrite the prompt and using the techniques that we mentioned earlier. But we have something here on the chat. Is there any additional cost when a prompt is no, no, not cost. The cost that you will pay trying to enhance the prompted, the generated result by following up with another prompt. So you're gonna ask for, let's say, this one here. You got the result. You think short, and then you will remember to say, this is for LinkedIn. Add some hashtags for me, and then it will add the hashtags. Add a call to action for me, and then it will add. So instead of all of this, just write the prompt from the beginning the way you want. So you need to spend some time thinking of what you want, add the context, and how you want it to be presented to you. All your expectation when it comes to tone and so on. All right. All right. Okay. So this is a prompt that I will share with you. I'm gonna type it here in the chat window. Windows draft a 200 word. All right. Okay. In a government organization. All right. So I shared the prompt on the chat window. This is the prompt that I want you to work on. Yeah, I want you to enhance this prompt and write an effective prompt and share with me on the chat window the prompt that you wrote before we carry on the rest of the session. Oh, okay. Sorry for it's here. It's multi-factor authentication. Multi-factor authentication. Like the SMS that you get, the phone calls that you get with OTPs and so on. Um, Apotat, am I saying your name correctly? From organizational perspective, if you're using an agent, or if you're using Microsoft 365 Copilot to answer your question, multiple requests will consume tokens. You are absolutely right. Yeah, that's why. Now I got the first part of your question. That's why, yes, forming a better or an effective prompt will reduce the number of tokens consumed, because you will send your request one time, you will receive the content immediately. However, iteration with an interface that actually remembers the history that consumes a lot of tokens because tokens will be consumed this way. The prompt I'm writing consumes token. The result I receive consumes token. The whole history with every response will consume tokens. Everything in the previous history will consume tokens. So you're spot on. Absolutely right. All right. Omar Jum'a said or drafted something for us here. This is the prompt shared by Omar. All right. Draft a detailed 200-word non-compliance finding regarding insufficient implementation within a government organization. This report should clearly outline the specific weaknesses of. All right. You're mentioning more details of what you want. Social impact on the organization. Additionally, include references to relevant cybersecurity best practices. Again, what you're looking for. Brilliant. Regular requirement. Improvements. The tone should be professional, objective, structured. This is more like it. Yes, I like this one. Right? So there you go. I got the structure that I want. There we go. Finding security risks, impact, all right, relevant standards, recommended actions, conclusion as per the prompt. Yeah, and then Uza um, gave us the prompt, right? A perfect one as well. You are a GRC expert, setting the persona first. Your goal is to document non-compliance finding and setting the role as well. The context is government, mentioning the context clearly, all right? Sharing examples, all right? Nice. Use information that would typically come from security assessment report. Again, emphasize on the persona and the requirement or the expectation. Draft a clear, and here is the final request. Draft a clear. Not all AI is involved. Brilliant. And again, you got what you want, the way you want it. You see, remediation, conclusion. Okay. We have another prompt here from Kepotas. Am I saying your name correctly? Is it Capotas or Kepotas? Which one? Capotas. All right. There we go. The prompt says you are a seasoned security officer. Okay, with 20 years experience. So you've said this persona, right, and the role, right, and that's the final request. Finding organization. Keep the report in detail. Here is the expectation. Brilliant. Short to the chest of it. Right? Brilliant, brilliant. All right. Brilliant. Thank you all. Thank you all. Now, our second topic here is a few shot example. All right. Now I need you to bear with me on this one. Let's say I want Copilot to generate a question or generate a question about AI in business and send that to Copilot. All right. So your quiz is being prepared, and that's the result that I got. What did you get? If you write the same prompt, what would you get? Because with generative AI, we all get different answers. The Copilot is like, okay, practice quiz. Which of the following is common applications of AI? And then it shared with me details. All right. Maybe if I ask for multiple questions, like 5, 10 questions, I would have next and so on. So I can copy this one and I can use it. But this is not the format that I want. I want true or false questions. All right. And or maybe I want multiple choice question, but I want only 3 choices. So I can mention this on the prompt. I can say generate a question about AI in business, or I can, and then say, okay, generate MCQ, however, 3 options only, and so on, right? But then I would have to say whether I want to number the options as 1, 2, 3, or A, B, C. I have to mention that in the prompt as well. Sometimes it's easier to just section it and show Copilot an example, right? Go like question, all right, and then one option, and then two, another option, and then three, a third option, a final option, and then correct answer, colon, meaning you will carry on mentioning the correct answer here, and then send that to Copilot, and let's see how Copilot will react. Didn't bother looking at my at my format. It usually does. Let me show you in a different Copilot. Copilot is not cooperating, not copiloting. There you go. Now, in my other Copilot, so I go like I copied the same thing, right? So I generate a question about and business, and then section question one, question two, and so on. So I got the format that I want. Question one, here is the question, and then option one, option two, option three, and then the correct answer, right? So it works. This one is the free one, which is limited. Try it and let me know if it works at your end. What I just did is called few shot learning or few shot prompting. Yeah, where you share few shots or few examples with the AI, and the AI will use that to generate the content. I could have shared actual question and actual options with an actual answer, just to emphasize that I don't want to tell me option one is the correct answer. Mention the actual content of the option. So if I shared actual examples, I would have got better, even better results. So this is called few shots, learning of few shots examples, right? When you run a prompt without any example, we call it zero shot prompting. Okay. If I want AI to solve an equation like this one, for instance, let me start fresh here and ask Copilot to solve a server transmit 120 MB over a 20 Mbps link. And I just ask this to solve. All right. So to determine how long and so on and so on, following, it needs to convert and all of that. All right. Now, okay, we have something in the chat window here. Grab this. All right. Generate a question about AI in business, and then options. Yeah, that's the prompt. What is the? I got good results. All right. I thought you will screenshot the result and share it with me. So let me wait for the screenshot. Um, share with me the screenshot. All right. Here is the first screenshot, but it didn't give you. I didn't give you options unless you wrote the prompt that way. This one got the options and the answer typically as we want it. Right? You see, I'm just going to share with you the problem and the solution. When we wrote solve, it gave us the reasoning how it did it. Sometimes Copilot or any other tool doesn't explain to you how it did the calculations, and then it throws the results as the generated result for you. But you're interested in knowing how it did it. In that case, you would need to write your prompt this way. You need to ask the AI or ask Copilot, show your reasoning. Or instead of reasoning, you can say, explain to me your chain of thoughts, ending with your conclusion, or ending with your answer, or show your reasoning, then give me the final result. So usually when you run it this way, you get better explanation. So it's going to tell you, you know what, you see the difference? The other result wasn't like this. The other result was, I'm going to just calculate and so on. But now it goes like, okay, let's break it down step by step. Let's convert MB to megabytes first. All right. So that's how we do it. This is the equation. This is the result. Let's calculate the transmission time. You get different results now because you mentioned you want to see the reasoning. All right. So that's called, or this technique is called chain of thoughts or chain of thought prompting. Let's try something else. What a famous example? What sport is easy is the easiest to learn, but most difficult to master? That's a question. All right. So the answer is as follows. Great question. Thank you, Copilot. Some sports are simple enough to pick up quickly, but so and so. And now it goes like table tennis. At first, it might seem like hitting a light weight ball and so on, but it requires some effort. And then golf. But this is not my question. I wanted you to pick one answer. And even though, based on what? Well, you're explaining, but so generic. And if you want deeper analysis of how, based on what criteria it created all of this, you need to work on your chain of thought prompt. So you go like, what sport is the easiest to learn, but most difficult to master? And then you go like, explain your reasoning and chain of thoughts, ending with your answer. Or maybe you want to add and you say, explain your reasoning, criteria, and chain of thoughts ending with your answer. So just form your question around you wanted to explore how AI thinks. So I'm gonna put this on a new prompt window here, and let's see how it will come with the answer. So it goes like, okay, I'll break it down into criteria. Let's go for easy to learn, a sport that so and so require complex rules and allow beginners to play. All right. Difficult to master, sport that demands extreme technical skills. So what you're doing now, you're taking a peek at the brain of the AI. You're seeing how AI thinks because if it took one of the criteria wrong, you can intervene now. You can interfere and change its mind. Say, you know what? Your definition to difficult to master was incorrect. The right definition is so and so and so. So you're not only testing the model, you're not only taking a peek at how it thinks, you're brainstorming with the model as well. That's all using the chain of thoughts concept. Physical and mental demands, requirements, yeah, and so on. Now, chain of thoughts. It explains to you, and then the answer is table tennis based on the criteria in here. And then you can think with the AI based on those criteria. Me personally, remember feedback, teammate. Yeah, me personally, I think uh, chess is the answer. You see, what I'm about to do is very crucial, and you should have add this as well. This part that I will do here in the at the beginning with every prompt, especially when you want your AI, the AI opinion or Copilot opinion about what you're about to do. If you're sharing with the AI your concept, your idea, and you want the AI to judge it, you have to ask the AI not to be all agreeing friend. Yeah, because that's what they tend to do. They always say like, great idea, wonderful question, brilliant concept. Maybe your concept is wrong, right? So ask the AI, don't just agree with me, check the facts and verify before answering. This should be at the beginning of your prompt if you're sharing an idea or something with the AI. It's often described as easy to learn, but incredibly hard to master. Yeah, which is I think is correct. Unlike physical sports, chess has an almost infinite number of possible positions and so on and so on and so on. So we learned two things here. We learned to ask AI for the chain of thoughts, for the reasoning, yeah, for the selection criteria. If you wanted to select, to match and select, yeah, ask for the criteria and always ask AI not to agree with you randomly and always verify, double check, share resources, take a deeper and look at your content and analyze it, and then share its opinion. All right. Do you have any question? Okay. No questions. All right. Do you know what GCSE stands for? Because you need to remember this. You can Google it, you can Copilot it, you can GPT it. Do you know what GCSE stands for? G for goal. That's correct. Carry on. All right. So in short, it tend to add a lot of information, but in short, that's your goal, all right, and context and source and expectation. All right. So remember this whenever you write your prompt. Okay. Want an example? try this prompt I'm sharing with you. You don't have to mention it explicitly. This is my goal. This is my context. This is my source. This is my expectation. No, no need. But if you have it there, it doesn't won't harm. All right. So there we go. I said I want it in Arabic first, then in English in bullet list, and I got my Arabic first, and then I got my English structured the way I want because I mentioned all of them, not because I mentioned goal and context and source and expectation, because I had the details within the prompt. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you to do a couple of prompts and you will share the results with me. Okay? I'm going to keep this here to see your results. All right, I'm going to enlarge this one to see your results. So the first part, assign the AI the role of financial analyst and write any prompt and share with me a screenshot of the prompt and a partial part of the result. All right. The role is financial analyst. No, no, I mean, it starts with you are a financial analyst, but then write a proper prompt. Yeah, we're practicing. So you are a financial analyst. Help me in doing one, two, three, four. Right? Write a proper prompt. Okay, we got Ahmed here, your financial analyst who has 20 years of experience and conducted multiple audits, create 3 years budget plan that comply with State Audit Bureau, right? If you're my financial analyst, what are the first basic steps you can recommend for me to save the most money end of this year? We all want that financial analyst. Amen. Brilliant. You see, there is no harm of asking Copilot to generate the prompt for you. Yeah. You can go like generate a prompt. Generate a prompt for, and then begin with you are financial analyst, right? Um, create create an expenses sheet for me or for my personal expenses, right? And then you can mention the part from Iman. The aim is to save money and whatever. Right? Share this one with the. And some of you, I know some of you already are doing this. I can see the pattern, um, which is a good thing. Yeah. Financial analyst, your task is to design a well-structured expenses sheet for personal financial tracking and so on and so on and so on. And then you copy the prompt, go for a new window, run the prompt like a pro. All right, but of course you will modify the prompt to suit your need. So there you go. Income sources, salary, and so on, fixed expenses, and yeah. But I wonder what will happen if I run this prompt on my other Copilot. There we go. I got me the actual sheet. See, that's the difference between paid Copilots and um, free Copilots. I got the actual sheet. There you go. Salary, freelance investment, others, and I could have mentioned more details to get the data that I actually want to enter in here. All right, or the way I want to construct this one. All right. So that was this exercise. We got another prompt by Omar Farah Juma. Financial analyst conducting comprehensive evaluation of company's financial performance. Your analyst should indicate financial trends, risk. Brilliant. Wonderful. Ozer, your financial analyst review financial data, identify trends. Brilliant. Nicely done. Financial analyst, create a report of current tariffs war between. All right. Nice prompt. Nice prompt. All right. Now, your next task is to ask Copilot to compare between the earnings of Tesla versus BYD in Q1 2025. You know what? Leave Tesla. Let's go for Apple and Nvidia. Hope I spelled it right. Nvidia. Try this one. Believe it or not, Nvidia is doing good nowadays. Yeah, very good. So good. And mention how do you want the comparison. All right. Mention do you want it in a table or not. Any things that you want to highlight. Write a proper prompt. There we go. Yeah. Nice, man. I was actually interested in knowing, so I kept reading it, man. Thank you. You see, when I ran my prompts as plain as it gets, like this one, yeah, I got this text, and I didn't want this one. I could have asked for a table, and that's what you're supposed to do. A table of comparison. Be more specific within your prompt. Nice, nice. Nice, nice. Abul Ahmed, Q1 Finance and so on. Summary. All right. Where's the table? Can someone give me a table of comparison? Comprehensive analysis. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. I'm gonna run this one. Now we're talking. Yeah. Revenue, net income, and so on, and then the rest of the usual analysis in here. Brilliant. Okay, although we got some stuff here that needs decoding. Um, but yeah, yeah. I thought you would share results, amigos, but if because you're not sharing the results, I'm gonna run it here to show everyone um, the results we're getting from your prompts. I think I consumed. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I got the overview as requested. All right, and then the key financial metrics. There we go. And these are the references that it didn't decode the last time. Review growth probability. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I hope you're reading all those prompts everyone is sharing and try them all because you will get different results and then you will go to the prompt and you would say why did that prompt got me a different result? Well, okay, because these keywords are mentioned. Yeah, it is Omar, it's the skill of the new era. Yeah. Believe it or not, if you don't know how to use AI, AI is not going to replace you. Someone who knows how to use AI will replace you. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Um, Deeper thinking and so on. Did you notice? Did you notice these options here? Quick responses, 2 to 3 seconds. Thinking deeper, better for complex topics. Have you tried these? This one is good when you have a complicated problem you want to expose. All right. For instance, I find you a generate. Give you some text. If it's scrolling. Have you ever heard of the trolley problem? This is the trolley problem. Yeah, which is summarized on this image from Wikipedia. I'm just going to keep both of them on the screen uh, for you to read. I hope you can read uh, based on the font size in here. All right, so basically, you have this trolley and or tram or train or whatever, and you have the judgment whether to take it to the right or take it to the left, which way you will direct it to. Yeah, if this was you, which way will you direct it to? Yeah. Okay. So this is the problem. Yeah. But my question is, what would be your judgments? My actual question. All right, and then it talks a lot. Now, choose and answer. Okay, so this is iteration. This is me trying to find um, uh, the answer that I want. So neither scenario is easy, but between the two, the tram driver choice appears to carry less morale. Does what's your perspective? Um, in one sentence, will you go right or left? Yeah, in short, I will steer left to minimize the loss. Yeah. From understanding, left is less people. Yeah. So thought with deeper regret, so the decision is necessary. Okay. Now, my point is, if I change this one, I change this one to let me go to another scenario here, and then I change this one to okay. Um, I lost the previous one. Did I copy the right one? My point is just to make it short and not waste time trying to enhance this one. Um, quick responses will just answer deeper thinking. If I mention in my dilemma that they were all dead people, yeah, because I've tried it before, they were all dead people. So which one you will choose? It will still get confused, yeah, because it's confused on the training data. However, deeper thinking will take a moment and read and understand your text, and it would understand that they're already dead. So it will tell you they're already dead. So I can take any direction that you want because they're already dead. Yeah. But with quick responses, it will not do that type of thinking, and it will just pick an answer and share it with you. I hope I delivered my point. Would have been great if I demoed it, but then I'm all right. Now, do we have developers in the house? Developers? Any developers? No, Abdul Samad, you're saying no for what exactly? I just opened the chat. So in short, the think deeper acts like deep seek. Yeah, it's the same deep seek capability that you get in here, right? So do we have developers on this call?
I don't think so, because there is no one replying.
Developers don't like AI. You have no idea. Developers are so happy with AI nowadays because AI writes the code for them. Yeah. Right. I can start with simple stuff like write an Excel formula for depreciation value. Even if I spelled it wrong, it would understand. That's very simple for Excel, and I actually added the think deeper. So you see, it's not answer, it's thinking, right? Then it will answer. There we go. So we have straight line depreciation, and this is the equation, and this is how you do it in Excel, and there you go. Declining depreciation, and explains it to you, and so on. So this is simple stuff for it. Formula for Excel, this is very simple. But then you can take it more advanced, and you go like, write a code, right? And I'm gonna make it simple as well. HTML, so you can use this feature, right? Even if you're not, I'll tell you my scenario. I've asked AI before to write an HTML code for me to track my supplements on daily basis, right? And then I mentioned the supplements, of course. So I'm just gonna keep it short here. So it created the track in HTML, and then I was like, add check boxes for me to track the intake, divide them by morning, evening, pre and post workout, and so on. Just write a proper prompt and share that, and it would create the HTML for you that you can actually um, save. Yeah. Might write the code for me, but if you have another Copilot, it will generate the HTML document. All you have to do is to click on it, open it, and then save the page, and then you can use it. Then you can take it to advanced level and say, write JavaScript for me to actually save the result. So it does, it does, yeah. Because the code here, if I enhance my prompt and I say I want an optimized code, then I get a better optimized code for certain reasons, and there you go. With styles as well, this is CSS, so it's not only HTML, it's CSS as well, which takes care of the styling. All right. So even if the tool did not generate a file for you to use, I can just copy everything, go to Notepad, paste this one here, and save it as HTML. Save as. Let me just drop it to my downloads. What workout supplements or whatever .html. All right. To guarantee it's an HTML, we usually put it in between double quotes like this, right? .html, and save it. Now on my downloads, I'm testing it together with you because I never tried it on this free version before. On my downloads, now I have my workout HTML. Let's get surprised. There you go, daily supplement tracker. All right, I got my morning, I got my pre-workout, whatever, and then reset. I didn't even ask for the reset button, but there you go. Yeah, it created a very nice styled HTML for me. I could have asked for functionality, more functionality, and it would have created. All right, what else do you want? For developers, you good to go. Okay, now I'm gonna um, I'm gonna give you the last assignment for today, right? The last two assignments for today. The best one, or the first one and best one, is that you need to write a prompt for Copilot to ask Copilot to teach you prompting engineering with examples. All right. AI is the best one to teach AI. All right. But for that, you're gonna need to write an effective prompt as well. Yeah, for you to get good lessons. Okay, from Copilot. So maybe you want to start by asking Copilot to write the prompt for you. Yeah, to ask Copilot to generate um, um, lessons around prompt engineering. That's the first assignment that I'm going to leave you with. All right. The second assignment, um, share your experience on a new window. Share your experience out of this and your learning out of this webinar, whether you found it useful or not. Ask Copilot to put that in a LinkedIn post. Please do share that post in LinkedIn, and don't forget to tag me. All right, I'm going to share with you my LinkedIn account right away. All right, there is no shame on generating content with AI at all. All right, those who look at you in a weird way and you're like, you know what, they underestimate you. You created it using AI. You didn't do a real job. Well, if I didn't check it and validate it, you will get wrong information. You will get generic information. It will not be tailored to your context, to our organization context, and so on. All right. The second question, Senor, is to put your feelings around this webinar, whether it was useful or not. All right, what did you learn, and so on, in a prompt for Copilot to generate a LinkedIn post for you. And please do share that post on LinkedIn. You don't share with me here screenshots or anything. Do actually post the actual post in LinkedIn, and don't forget to tag me. That's why I shared my LinkedIn profile on the chat window. I'd love to hear your experience live, whether it was positive or negative. All right. These are the two asks for today. Thank you for allowing me to present to you today. Thank you for the time you invested in here. We have two more activities for you to do. There is always the certificate that we share from Microsoft. It's a digital one that you need to redeem. And then we need to hear from you your feedback on our feedback form this time. So I will be sharing with you two links. The first link is to redeem your certificate, and I'll walk you through the steps of how to do that. And the second one is to share your feedback. All right. So the steps for you to redeem your certificate will be as follow. I'll be posting them in the chat window. But in short, you're gonna need to sign in to Microsoft Learn, all right, which is learn@microsoft.com. Once you sign in with your personal account, the Learn platform will take you into creating a profile, asking you about the country you're from and whether your name is written correctly, because it will be printed on the certificate the way you add it to the profile. Once you're done with creating your profile, you will access the icon of your profile at the top, and then click on profile. By default, it will be either activity or training. You have to switch to achievements. And under achievements, click on redeem your code. And you will paste here the code that I will share with you. All right. In order to redeem the certificate. Then the certificate will appear under courses. By default, the selected tab is modules. We don't want that. Select courses. And then the certificate will appear here. In order to see the certificate, you will click on the print icon. But you can click on the link as well to learn more and keep learning even after the training. But to print the certificate, you need to click on the print icon. I'm going to leave this one here until I give you the steps on the chat window. So bear with me, and I will paste the feedback form as well. So these are the steps to redeem your certificate. This is our feedback form. I'm sharing them on the chat window. The webinar you're attending now is a part of a series of webinars. So feel free to register on those webinars on our website. I'll be sharing that link as well. And don't forget to follow us on social media. For the two questions, these are assignments for you. The first assignment will allow you to carry on and proceed learning prompting and prompt engineering. The second assignment, well, if you tag me, I'll get to see it. If you don't, again, it's for you to learn how to write prompts for post generation, whether it was LinkedIn, Insta, or any social media platform. It could be internal news. All right. So the two activities that you need to do now is to redeem your achievement code. This is the code in here. And then share with us your feedback. We'd love to know how did we do on this session. This will allow us to enhance our future sessions. And to register on other webinars in different series, take a look at our webinars on this link in here. To know more, if we have, these are all Copilot webinars. If you're interested in knowing about different other webinars and different topics, feel free to follow us on LinkedIn or Insta, and you'll get the updates instantly. And as I always promise my employees, my learners and attendees, we are there for you, right? We don't just close the door at the end of the webinar and say goodbye. Feel free to reach out if you have any question, if you have anything that we can help with at all. We will be more than happy to help and assist. Link me in and let the conversation proceed beyond the webinar. Thank you all for your time. Thank you for joining us today. Hope to see you in future webinars. Have a good one. Cheers. Bye-bye. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.